Superman.
Batman.
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 Superman.
Superman.
Superman. I love you, Bruce.
I love you too, Clark.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
This is the Batman Superman World's Finest edition on talking about superheroes.
Welcome back.
What are we going to do?
We're going to talk about Batman and Superman. Of course, we're going to talk more about Batman, my favorite.
Yeah, check out those guys right there.
If it weren't for Batman, I wouldn't give a rat's hairy butt about DC Comics. I said it. Sorry.
Oh, Batman's great.
He's great.
He's Batman.
He's Batman.
Shall we talk about their evolution through the comics as teammates or whatever?
Yeah.
So it seems in the early 40s when they started thinking about how Superman and Batman were the most popular and Wonder Woman, and popular demand was thinking it would be cool to have more than one superhero in a comic. I mean, for a while they just shared comic book covers, but they had separate stories in their comics, and everyone realized they liked to see them together. So they would join forces in some stories, and they were totally chummy. They were like, "Oh, good pal. Yeah, Superman. It's good to have your help."
Right. There's absolutely no tension in the relationship.
No, they were just like, "Ha, we can do things."
Yes, look at us. Let's show off for each other.
Exactly, and they were pals, standing on the cover next to each other. Maybe
Robin was in the middle.
Yeah, Robin was just like, "I'm the kid."
Yeah.
And they were just like, "Oh, good job. Let's put our arm around each other's shoulders."
Yeah.
And even in the Super Friends, every character was interchangeable.
Right. No distinct personalities whatsoever.
Eventually in the comics, maybe in the 70s, Batman started getting dark again, and then some point in the 80s, they sort of started being two different characters separate from each other, and we're just kind of, Batman, wasn't very trusting of Superman. In the comics, I think, it seems like at one point there was that issue where one of the Robins died, and Batman was gonna try to go on a mission to stop Joker, and Superman's like, "Don't do this, you'll get in trouble," and Batman's super pissed, and he punches Superman in the face, and he thinks he broke a finger, and Superman's like, "No, you didn't break your finger, but you're lucky I rolled with that punch." And then there was that thing with the Dark Knight Returns storyline, which is sort of a dystopian time where the government's gone kind of rogue and Superman's gone rogue with them, and he's anyone who gets in the way, Green Arrow, will get his arm torn off, or and he's sent by what's his name, Reagan to take down Batman, because he's sort of rebellious, and Batman's wearing his whole armor, and he's got these kryptonite gloves, and he's beating the crap out of Superman, and then Green Arrow shoots kryptonite gas and a arrow at him in the background.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
And then Batman fakes his death, and there just became this thing where Batman and Superman were different breeds, and Superman's all good chum, and I'm doing the right thing, and Batman's just the scum of the earth, and if Superman was to go rogue, I must be prepared. So I'll have this kryptonite.
Right.
In fact, I think Superman gave him the kryptonite.
Uh-huh. If he ever goes rogue, right? He gave it to him. He says,
yeah,
if anything happens. It's pretty awesome. That, I mean, the one thing that DC's done well is that they put Superman on this, like, above ground level where he's, like, can oversee everything, and then they put Batman way underground. So he's, like, on the underbelly of the whole crime
but
scene.
he can see a lot more of the, like, scum of the earth and all that, and he has more perspective on that. And Superman's just this powerful guy who thinks he's doing the right thing, and Batman feels that anyone could go rogue, because in the real world, that's kind of what can happen. Anyone has that potential.
I could go rogue at any moment.
Oh my God, we have to...
If I go rogue? Let's see.
You could go like coleslaw rogue.
You know, Batman was always I was always gravitating towards Batman just because, you know, doesn't have powers. He's like the polar opposite.
He's got the cool crap.
Superman.
He's got all this cool stuff in his belt.
Just gadgets and gizmos and a ton of money.
And of all the mobiles and whatever. Yeah. I'd like to talk about a comic book I brought today. One of the comic books that's in my stack over here.
I'll hold it.
World's Finest Comics, starring Superman and Batman. Issue 287. Let's see what year this comic. This issue is from 1983. And, are you saying something over there? Okay. And this was like one of the first one. This is one of the first comic books I picked up back when I was like 7. So like almost a decade ago, I picked this up. And, you know, then I thought it was cool to see Batman and Superman in the same comic. Of course, this one was kind of strange for me at the time, because you see, like, Batman grasping at Superman's neck there, and there's Robin just freaking out.
Oh, my God.
But in this comic book, you know, looking at it now, I didn't think about that so much then, but looking at this comic, I noticed it as like really solid art style. Like there's like a fire here, I guess. I don't know, all sorts of stuff. But suddenly Batman gets like these really freaky eyes, and then like Robin's tapping him on the shoulder, and he just like smacks him in the face. And Batman looks like he's in pain, and then he starts like trying to beat up Superman. It's really crazy. It's like intense. He's got like foam coming from his mouth, and he's like punching Superman repeatedly, and his fists are getting all damaged. And then like the mind control is slipping a little, and Batman's like totally freaked out there. Very bizarre comic, but I just thought it was cool to see Batman and Superman, so that's okay. Anyways, got any comments on that?
Well, I'm going to check that one out. Yeah, sure. Let's check it out.
And maybe, shall we talk about our hopes and not opposite of hopes for like new movie? There's a movie supposedly supposed to come out in like 2015 or 2016, like Batman versus Superman or something. Lots of weird titles circulating around, like Superman, Night Falls for the Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, Night Falls.
Something like that. And like the weird things about this is that it's supposed to have Ben Affleck as Batman.
Oh, God.
I'm not really sure how they can do that with Henry Cavill Superman. It may or may not work out. It's hard to tell.
Well, it makes sense, you know.
But let's try to think about, like, how would they come to fight each other in that movie, I wonder?
Well, I got this whole idea of Batman, his own storyline where he's got to figure something out in a detective way, and Superman, who's more of a straightforward, like, I'll just go in there and punch him up. And
I mean, maybe there's going to be quite a few characters in this. Can I talk a little bit about
Yeah.
So I think that they said there's supposed to be, like, Dick Grayson in it. Like his version, he's probably more. This is probably supposed to be like Batman's been doing this for a little while, and his sidekicks like gotten a little older, and it's like Nightwing's gonna be in it, and you know, there's an assumption that Lex Luthor will probably be in it. They're kind of figuring out casting right now, but I think they there was rumor about the Riddler.
They got to do the Riddler. It's time again to bring the Riddler out.
Yeah, let's hope he's not so corny in this one. Like more of a more interesting character that is mysterious and you don't see his face much or something. Well,
I think they should. What they should do if they were smart is they would give you a whole bunch of characters in the first act of the movie that could potentially be the Riddler. So you've got like a series of maybe 5 different suspects who could be the Riddler, and then it comes out, in Act 2 or 3.
Maybe Riddler is not so much of like a puzzle guy. It's like more of like a behind shadows, like
a hacker.
Criminal, whatever.
Yeah, like a computer hacker or something.
I don't know. I think they need some sort of more massive villain, like at least teased in this. Batman versus Superman. It has potential to either be meh or woo.
Meh or woo. I think I'm kind of gravitating towards meh.
Anyways, we'll edit a bunch of this out. But we've been talking about Batman and Superman. Hope that movie is acceptable without us tearing all our hair out. Anyways, this has been Talking About Superheroes, Episode 4, World's Finest. And see you later, peoples. And this looks like a job for Superman.
Batman!
Superman!
Batman!
Anyways, I'm going to go back to Kansas.
Batman.
Superman. Superman. Ben Affleck as Batman.
Oh, God.
I'm not really sure how they can do that.